Oh, no.
I shoved everybody else out for one good reason.
What the hell is that
You-
for?
Shut up.
Oh, God.
I'm going to open this show with the following statement. Dylan Brooks, you soul, you a bitch.
Oh, good Lord.
God help me.
Let go.
Oh.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah! Let's get it, baby!
Hold up. Yeah, I'm about to say, what the hell? Where'd I get a spear
That
to?
opening was good.
Yeah, it was.
Good morning. Welcome to the Taco Twisted Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Thank you, Big Dog, for that. Glad to have you all with us. This first hour, of course, is powered by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless.
Now,
The band is back together.
Now that the band is back together, I do have a little announcement.
Go for it.
You and I discussed this yesterday.
We did.
As everybody knows, last year we teamed up with our friend, the Queen of Taika, Miss Genevieve Yoso, which, by the way, you guys should be following on Twitch, for her little deal with Gamers Outreach and the VTuber SummerSlam, which, of course, I lend my voice to, being the announcer and the voice of Taika. Jen announced yesterday on stream that she would be going back for the third consecutive year doing this. And for the second consecutive year, Snowman in the Morning and our merchandise store will be partnering with Jen once again, which means a portion of the proceeds, whether it is a dog tumbler, a Find a Lie t-shirt, doesn't matter what it is that you guys order from the store, a portion of the proceeds will be going through Jen's link to Gamers Outreach. And I will personally guarantee at the end of the VTuber SummerSlam a donation in my name personally to Gamers Outreach.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Of course, there will be more details when the time comes, but
Yep.
Like I said, it's a 3-day stream-a-thon that goes down, and like I said, I will be personally guaranteeing a donation at the end of it in my name to Gamers Outreach.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Beautiful. And should I have the means, I will copy that. I will copy that. All right, folks. There's more draft stuff to discuss, and there's a contract to discuss also. Help me welcome Mike Debate from Patriots SI, and he joins us right now. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Mr. Debate, how you doing?
Do we
Good
have
morning, gentlemen.
There we
Yes,
go.
You have me. Yep. Good morning. Always an honor, always a privilege to join you on the microphone. Thanks so much for having me.
Let's start at the top of the mountain, and at the top of the mountain, we find the best tight end of the game in none other than George Kittle, who basically is going to be a 49er for life when news broke this morning that he has agreed to a 4-year, $76 million extension with $40 million of that guaranteed, which makes him the highest paid tight end in the league right now. Let's go to Mike first. Mike, your thoughts?
Well deserved and very smart by the 49ers. Very smart by George Kittle to sign this. $40 million in guaranteed money. So, that definitely is an incentive to sign a deal like this. But from a 49ers perspective, this lowers Kittle's previously scheduled 2025 salary cap number of $22.1 million. And I'm approximating here, but that cap hit would definitely exceed what was his previous cap hit by less than 10 million. So you're looking now at a situation that is beneficial for the Niners. It's beneficial for Kittle. It gives him the motivation, the security that he needs to keep going forward, continue to be one of the best, if not the best tight end in the NFL. And for the Niners, it definitely gives them security at that position for a number of years to come. So all the way around, I think this is a good move.
And this provides a bonus for San Francisco because, as you know, they're in talks now with Brock Purdy to extend him. And with the haul they just got in the draft, even though we did talk and would love to have seen them address the offensive line, I think there are going to be some cuts throughout training camp that will allow them to address the offensive line and get that part of the line fixed. But you get Kittle signed. They just recently signed Christian McCaffrey. Ayuk got his extension. Jawan Jennings got his extension. Bosa got his 2 years ago. And you have Purdy next. You take care of your core, the rest will follow.
Oh, without question. That's exactly what you want to do if you're the San Francisco 49ers. You've got weapons around Brock Purdy. You want to continue to build him into being one of the top quarterbacks in the NFC, which I do believe he was, despite, the 49ers struggles last year. So this is going to continue to be a team that plays at a high level because of the weapons that you just described. And keeping them in-house is an important part of moving forward. You've got a solid core offensively in San Francisco right now. You don't want to deviate from that, and Kittle is as important to that as anyone else. So again, I'm liking this extension for both sides, and we'll continue to see what it means. And for Kittle personally, and I want to give a tip of the cap to ESPN on this. I did not pull this stat, but I did see it this morning when I was reading about the contract extension. Got a chance to join the 49ers 10-year club. I know you know an awful lot about that, Brian.
I do.
Players who have played at least 10 consecutive seasons in San Francisco, 51 players since the team's inception in 1946. The last guy to join that club was tackle Joe Staley in 2017. So hopefully George gets his opportunity to do that. He's been a great 49er. Hopefully he'll continue to be. And this extension definitely makes it more likely that will happen. Doesn't guarantee it, but it does make it a little more likely.
It does make it very likely. Of course, Kittle, the 5th round draft pick for San Francisco out of Iowa, when he first started, he was Mr. Everything to them. And then they started getting weapons around him. And then the ultimate weapon, I believe, in Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, who is now very relevant for them. So you get Kittle signed. You get Ayuk, as I mentioned, Jawan Jennings. Trent Williams signed for another couple of years. So he may have a chance to join that 10-year 49er club. They're going to take care of Purdy. Everybody's worried. You shouldn't be. They're going to take care of Purdy. It's just a matter of finding the correct number where both sides can agree. But the biggest weapon that they signed a year ago is now healthy. His name is Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, without question. And if you want to take pressure off a young quarterback, even a young quarterback that's had as much success and as much on his shoulders as Brock Purdy's had in his first few years tenured as the quarterback of the 49ers, best way to do it is with an explosive dual threat running back. And Christian McCaffrey is that guy. And he will continue to be that guy as long as he's healthy. He can receive out of the backfield. He can play every role you need him to play. And the leadership that he brings to that locker room as well is so underrated in terms of bringing a team that may have struggled in a previous season and helping to bring them back to where they need to be. That's such an important part of moving forward as a franchise. I watched the franchise I cover this weekend with the New England Patriots move on from some significant leaders in that locker room, but they brought in high quality, high character players that are going to be able to help move this team forward. It's, to me, as important as anything when you look at express team building. So I'm looking forward to seeing what McCaffrey can do, healthy and back in the lineup and back at a high level. Hopefully he'll stay that way. I know there's unfortunately a history there, and it always has to be something in the back of your mind if you're a Niners fan. But when he's clicking it on all cylinders, he vaults this offense to a completely different level.
And here's a backup that'll be RB2 for them, but fits the same mold as McCaffrey. Second-year running back Isaac Guerendo out of Louisville. In the time that he's gotten to see the field, he fits the same mold as McCaffrey. And here I go digging in my past bag again, just as Roger Craig did for them back in the 80s.
Oh, without question. And credit to Kyle Shanahan on that, because you want guys in this locker room that can step in and play the role they need to play and not have to deviate too much from a playbook that's working and that works well. So what do? You bring in guys that are capable of playing similarly to your starters. And Isaac Guerendo did a tremendous job, in my opinion, last year, filling in for McCaffrey when he was down. I know Isaac's got his own injury issues that he's trying to come back from this year, and hopefully he'll be at the top of his game. But you look at what they've got, that 1-2 punch in the running back room, then you add Jordan James, then you've got Patrick Taylor. They've got a good core running the football in San Francisco, and in a Kyle Shanahan offense, that's so important to have guys that are capable of carrying the load. In San Fran right now, they've got 4 guys that can do it. So, I'm looking forward to watching Guerendo this year as well.
To the defensive side of the ball, and we talked about Michael Williams and how big of an addition that he's going to be. On the other side of the line, he just needs to get healthy, and I believe he will be before the start of training camp. There is a little known linebacker that the 49ers drafted last year that I believe is going to fill the hole left by Dre Greenlaw. His name is D. Winters out of Texas Christian.
Yeah, D. Winters playing the strong linebacker is definitely an opportunity for him to gain a little more eyes on him this year, and I think definitely to gain a little more prominence. Didn't collect the sack last year, but was right in the mix when it came to making tackles, had 26 of them. In this system and in the way that the 49ers like to play, Winters has that ability to be the guy that can take your team to another level. So, again, I expect him to be a starter this year. I expect him to be a full-time starter. I like that you had your eyes on him as well, because now with the departures that they've had in the offseason, it's going to give him an opportunity to flex his muscle a little bit. I liked his game when he was at TCU, and I think he's got an opportunity now to showcase what he can do on a national stage.
The speed of D. Winters was phenomenal to me, and that's why I eyed him before the Niners drafted him last year. The speed that he played with was phenomenal, especially in the Big 12. He can cover sideline to sideline. He can go laterally. He can go north and south as well and make the tackle, now with a chance to start and pair alongside Fred Warner, who's one of the best linebackers in the league right now. Not only do you have that, but you got a secret weapon back in the Bay by the name of Robert Saleh. Him coaching this defense and the parts that they drafted, this 49er team, I'm telling y'all right now, watch out.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And again, when you're a team that's lost a little bit of swagger or the appearance is that you've lost a little bit of your swagger, what do? You go back to a time and place where you did have that spring in your step, where you had that little bit of attitude that's going to help move you forward. San Francisco 49ers did it by bringing back Robert Saleh, and I think that's going to be such an important part of moving this defense forward and giving them the motivation they need to return to a high level of play and really return to, I think, an intimidating type unit that no one wants to go against. And you've got guys up and down in that locker room, high character guys. And not only that, but you've also got guys that are capable of playing this game at the highest possible level. I think this 49er defense is going to be a force this year, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
I'm looking forward to watching it also. Let's go to New England. And I know Shane wanted to discuss this. Mike covers the New England Patriots. He's done it for a long time. Now, first of all, Shane, let me have your grade on the Patriots draft class.
I'd give it a solid B because we filled up a lot of holes that we needed to fill up. I mean, this was a Vrabel. It feels like it's a Vrabel heavy draft with all the beef that we ended up getting. Mm-hmm. Whether you're looking at Will Campbell or you're looking at guys coming in through the edge like Jared Wilson or Joshua Farmer, guys like that. But we also shored up a little bit of the secondary with Craig Woodson coming in. But we've also got a little offense coming in. Trayvon Henderson out of Ohio State, their running back. I mean, I'm going to have my eyes on him all season. So I'd give it a solid B because, we basically filled in a lot of gaps that were needed. And I'm sure, Mike, probably you feel the same way.
Shane, I couldn't agree with you more, although I did give the plus at the end of that simply because I love what they did in being able to not only get Jared Wilson at number 99, at number 95 after trading down twice from 77, but also being able to pick up Braden Swinson in the 5th round. Just to me, a phenomenal value for both of those guys. But the Patriots went into this draft looking to fill the holes that they needed to fill. And they did that. Now, ultimately, the success of this draft is going to lie with how these guys fit into the scheme on the field. And every single one of these players has the ability to compete for a roster spot. And it's been a long time since I've been able to look at a Patriots draft and confidently say that every one of these guys has a chance to make the roster. Now, will all of them make it? Probably not. But I think every one of them has a chance to at least fight for that. And that really is a credit to Elliott Wolf, to Matt Groh, to Ryan Cowden, and most importantly, to Mike Vrabel. Shane, you hit the nail right on the head when you said that this is a very Vrabel-heavy draft. High character, high-quality guys, aggression all throughout this draft in terms of the way these guys play the game, whether it's the offensive skill position players, whether it's the defenders. These guys all want to get after the football. They want to show you and put you on your heels and make it difficult for you to play your game. The Patriots may not be a playoff team this year. I still think the jury is out on that. I know a lot of people in New England, a lot of my listeners, a lot of my readers are excited. They think they're playoff bound. I would tell them to take the foot off the accelerator a little bit. But the one thing I can guarantee you about New England this year, they're going to be tough to play. This is a team that a veteran team is not going to want to play because there's just enough talent here to be able to expose certain holes and certain things that veteran teams don't do well. This is what I like to call, pardon my French, gentlemen, a pain-in-the-ass team that no one wants to see late in the season. And I think that's where the Patriots can start to build back to a level of respectability.
And that's huge for the Patriots because since 2021, they have struggled so long with so many ways that they could lose games and not many ways they could win games and not having the pieces needed to compete. Let's go to Chicago. Give me your idea of a grade on the Chicago Bears draft and who could surprise in that draft class.
Well, I think the Chicago Bears did a great job. I'm right in the B and the B plus, range there as well. I know some people are grading them even higher, and look, I don't have a problem with it. You add Colston Loveland and Luther Burden as two of the top, playmakers in this draft that could really make a difference for Caleb Williams. We talked about Colston last week. Brian, we thought he was headed for Indianapolis. I almost booked his ticket for him after we spoke. But Chicago is a great landing spot. You've got Cole Kmet in place that is more of a traditional blocking type tight end that can be a weapon in the field if he needs to be. But Colston is a pure weapon in the field, and he will be for Caleb Williams. Luther Burden, untapped potential there. I think a very high ceiling for him. Second rounder, I think this is a good value for them to pick him up. A guy that I scouted very heavily coming into this draft, Ozzie Trapillo, the offensive lineman, the tackle from Boston College. I can tell you, folks, he's a lot better than what you've heard nationally from him. This kid can really get after it, and I do believe that he's going to be a solid complement on that line, maybe even give you starting potential at some point. And right throughout the draft, I mean, whether it's Shamar Turner coming in, these guys really, I think, did a very good job of filling their needs. And I really like what the Bears had to do this weekend.
Let's take a look in Los Angeles. I'm going back to the NFC West, and we're hopping around here talking all things NFL draft with our good buddy Mike Debate, who is in his 8th season now with Snowman in the Morning. Take a look at the Rams. Look in your crystal ball. How did they do? Did they fill some holes? And how competitive will they be this season?
Well, I think they filled some holes. In terms of how competitive they're going to be, again, it's going to be about how these pieces that they put into place come into fruition and they're able to move teams forward. Look, I love Josiah Stewart coming out of Michigan. Obviously, as you know, someone who keeps a close eye on Michigan since the Tom Brady days, I keep my eye on Wolverines, both offensively and defensively. And Stewart is one of those guys that just has a nonstop motor. He's a relentless pass rusher. He's going to close, and he's going to give you that swagger on defense, and he's going to give you some toughness. So I like that pick. I know they went with Ferguson as their opening pick there as a tight end. He comes in. He's got the ability to I think develop into an effective route runner, which is something that I think Sean McVay would like him to become. You heard Sean throughout the draft say that Matthew Stafford is trying to give it one more go around. So we'll see what happens there with the Rams. But I think they've done enough to remain competitive. Whether or not they're going to take that next step, I think maybe a couple of teams in the division maybe took a little bit of a more major step to make this a little more competitive. But make no mistake about it, the Rams are well coached. They're well versed. They'll be right in the thick of things this season.
Early look inside the draft with Mike Debate joining us from Patriots SI. We're going to have him all throughout the season. Mike, come on back next week. We'll do some more teams, and then we'll start getting into our division previews. And of course, May 14th, the schedule comes out. We'll have that as well. Mike, always a pleasure to have you on, brother.
Brian, always an honor, always a privilege to share the microphone with you. Shane, you too. Have a great day, gentlemen. Enjoy. I'll see you as soon as I can. I'm always here whenever you need me. Thank you so much for having me on.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Very much. Thank you so very much. Mike Debate joining us, and we got some people in the Fanatics feedback zone. Tom O'Boyle is with us. Of course, Genevieve kicked open the Fanatics feedback zone. Napoleon Johnamite.
Yes,
I hope I said that right.
Yes,
he's with us. AB Media from Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll talk Colts next week with Mike. Who else is here? The Playmaker. He's going to join us after the break. He's going to join us a little bit after the break. One of my other buddies, the No News Podcast, is here, and of course, Latina AI, Latina and Cali. She put the I behind it. She says, "Hello, everyone. Good morning. Peace and blessings to you all. I thank you very, very much." Of course, Sick Diggy, our brother from Norway, is with us. And we got a super chat. Martin Mohammed says, "Snowman in the morning. Salute, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you all for hanging with us. The consistency is coming with the channel. Of course, we're building a new one all over the place. And man, I tell you what, the support that comes in helps everybody. Okay, the support that comes in helps everybody, and we thank everyone that has supported us then, that supports us now, and supports us through our channels that are going to get monetized next by the end of this summer. Take a break. When y'all get back, I have a Snowman's take, and I know some people that ain't going to like it, and I don't care.
When have we ever cared?
Not in 11 years.
Facts.
Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries, Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze claw.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
The spirit of battle is a powerful force. It's a force that drives us, pushes us beyond our limits. It's a fire in our hearts that fuels our determination, our commitment, our strive for greatness. Every challenge faced, every obstacle overcome, it sharpens our skills and fortifies our resolve. This relentless pursuit of excellence makes the journey so exhilarating. And the victory, it makes the victory sweet.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
It is April 29th, and I'm saying the Ravens won't make the playoffs.
I'm
Why?
calling conspiracy.
Will you let me finish?
I'm calling conspiracy. No.
Okay, why are you calling conspiracy?
How dare y'all extend George Kittle? Y'all know what y'all doing.
Hold up. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right.
Oh no.
Have your musings.
Y'all
I hate you for crawling inside. I hate you, dog, for crawling inside my head. Victor, go.
Y'all extending George Kittle is an absolute conspiracy to
No, it's
just
not.
torture and abuse the Dallas Cowboys. I already know what's happening. Y'all know that George Kittle is the boogeyman for the Cowboys. So y'all say, let's go abuse the Cowboys. Let's psychologically torture the Cowboys by extending George Kittle. How dare you? How dare you?
No, dude,
No, in
this
all
is
serious-
no. Hold up. This is psychological torture for the Cowboys. That
that's
clown
a
is
war-
psychological
That's a
torture.
war crime against the Cowboys. No, but in all serious, congratulations to George.
Thank
that
you.
would I congratulations. He absolutely deserves it. And honestly, God man, he wasn't on the Blue Star, but he's a great addition. And if I'm San Francisco, I'm holding on to him for as long as I can because he's gonna bring y'all some titles.
Yeah,
So
he is.
in
He
reality,
is.
no, I'm absolutely over the moon that he got his extension.
I
But y'all
love-
know what y'all doing.
You damn right we know what we're doing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
the
called
Cowboys,
freaking greed.
Right?
and you're surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Shane, you need to shut your face.
What the hell, man? I'm just saying we got nothing here to get greedy about.
You and your Patriots fandom need to shut your bleeping face. Because
Hey, I'm
we
not
had
part
to
of the
put
New.
up
I'm not part of
with
the New
y'all.
England. I am
Shut
not
up.
part of the New England Nimrod Society. Okay.
Shut up.
Go.
We had to put up with y'all for 2 decades. All right. Y'all kiss the back of you Patriots fans, Shane not included, need to kiss the back of my fat ass right now. All right.
Okay. So
before we bring in the play, you know what? The absolute hell with it. I want him here when I deliver my snowman's take. But first,
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic, but I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
the playmaker is here, and
He
he's
got a
from
Bulls cap
Chicago
on.
Bulls. What's up,
Agent
playmaker?
Zero, what's going on?
Anytime
hell.
playmaker begins with a head nod and we don't see a smile on his face, nor his glasses even, there's
question is
there's
who's gonna
trouble.
get it
What's
first?
wrong, man?
I'm gonna hear this take first because I heard some blasphemy before I got on here.
Oh,
Out of all the teams that we can choose to not make the playoffs, this man said the Baltimore Ravens.
I had a joke behind it. I know they'll make the playoffs, but I had a joke behind it.
I'm gonna say, like, I need to hear this.
All right,
'cause
listen, I had a joke behind it, okay? And to complete said joke, the reason the Ravens won't make the playoffs, and this is the joke I was getting after, yes, Lamar, it is you. It has always been you. Like I said, I had a joke in mind when I said that. I know what the Ravens are capable of, and I know what they're going to do. Now, I do have a snowman's take in mind, and I want the playmaker around when I deliver it. Here it is. Now, give me this goddamn camera.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Dylan Brooks, you a bitch.
Okay, we're done here.
You, man, I wish it
yes,
were that simple.
they need to be that simple.
It's. I wish it were that simple. But listen, the Houston Rockets, 52 wins on the year, have no answer for a depleted, beat up Golden State Warriors team who, as Victor said earlier in the show, held serve in the Bay like they needed to do because the biggest thing. Well, the first thing that they needed to do coming into this series after the play-in game was snatch one in Texas. They snatched one in Texas. Now they have a chance Wednesday night to snatch 2 in Texas and put the Rockets out of their misery, which means whenever the Warriors do close out this series, they will put Ime Udoka out to pasture. ... Again. Ime Udoka has now had 2 shots at the Golden State Warriors. 2!
And missed both, or could miss both.
And he's potentially going to miss both of them. How can you sit Jalen Green?
That was just stupid.
In the 4th quarter.
Yeah, because
let me try that again. How can you sit Jalen Green for part of what we love to call the money period?
Yes.
That
the Warriors were getting killed on the boards.
Yep.
Not killed, killed. And you sit one of your best rebounders and you sit one of your best players for the final 5 minutes of the 4th quarter. You had a chance in that 2nd quarter. You came all the way back. You took a 7-point lead at halftime, only to watch the Warriors blitz you 18-1 to begin the 3rd quarter, which had Victor texted me going, "What the hell are the Warriors doing?" And then 30 seconds later, he sends me the text of Warriors doing Warrior things. I didn't bother to respond because I had a pretty lady behind me watching this as well. Because Dr. K offered the best response. When she came in and said, "Why aren't you in bed yet?" I said, "I have a little unfinished business in San Francisco." She looked at the score and she says, "It's 57-50 Rockets. What are they going to do?" They meaning the Warriors. Then she went to get a snack, came back in, leaned over my shoulder, and saw the 18-1 blitz. And went, whacked. Ime Udoka is suffering with the Golden State Warriors what many coaches have suffered with the Chicago Bulls back in the 90s. There are no answers. Nada. Oh, by the way, Jimmy Butler is still injured. Oh, by the way, Draymond Green should have been kicked out of the game last night. But the referees, unlike 2016, got it right and assessed him a flagrant instead of a second technical. That's where the Warriors took advantage. They had their defensive stopper. Alperen Sengun was bullying Draymond Green all night, but on the 2 plays where Green needed to make a play, he made him. He forced Sengun into a difficult shot, and then Jimmy Butler flew in and grabbed the clinching rebound. Now, I got nothing but love for Fred VanVleet. Okay? Nothing but love for Fred VanVleet. But he was rushed, which is what the Warrior defense needed to do anyway. So to the Houston Rockets, it may be 5 games, it may be 6. It will not be 7. And to that I say unto you, nene, nene. Now get your bitch asses out of here. That's Snowman's take. What's yours? Jay Spivey's standing by, and the playmaker has his head bowed again. Why?
Playmaker, what did you see in that game?
Sir?
Hit the button.
Oh no!
Oh,
I thought this was going to be
All
for
yours.
Miami, but go ahead.
All yours, playmaker.
Can somebody explain to me how many points did Jalen Green had in game 1?
looking.
Oh boy. I thought this was coming during the Cleveland and Miami game.
I know we know the playmaker by now.
Game 1, Jalen Green, 38.
That was game. You sure that was game 1 and not game 2?
No, yeah, you're right. Excuse me. Game 1, let's take a look. Jalen Green had 7 in game 1.
How many points he had in game 3?
Game 3, 9.
How many points he had last night?
8.
I hate to be the one to break up Snowman's take, but did you hear those numbers, Snowman?
I did.
And you want to know why Ime Udoka decided not to play his franchise player in the fourth quarter? You said Jalen Green had what, 9 points last night?
8.
8.
How many shots he took?
Too many.
That's usually my answer, but
You said
as I'm
too
looking
many.
up,
Not
as
enough.
as I'm looking up these stats right now, he was 3 of 8 from the field.
8 points on 8 shots. You have the same amount of points as shots as you took.
Mm-hmm.
How many minutes we played?
He played 25.
25.
25.
You know what that tells me? Ime looked at his franchise player and said, he don't got it this series. And I don't know why.
Very true. Touche.
What the hell is going on here?
Please repeat that question.
You give me 38 in game. I gave you a pass in game 1 because it's the first time ever you stepped foot in the atmosphere of the playoffs, and you're going against Steph Curry, you're going against Jimmy Butler, you're going against Draymond Green, so you gotta learn.
Yep. And that's exactly what you said. That's exactly what you said on this program, that Jalen Green has to learn.
You came out in game 2 and dropped 38. And then you go back to it, 9 and 8. You couldn't even put up 15 points in game 3 or game 4.
Mm-mm.
I don't care. Dylan Brooks is gonna be Dylan Brooks. Draymond Green gonna be Draymond Green. It is what it is.
True.
But Jalen Green, 8 points, 3 for 8 shooting
In game 4.
in a more important game 4.
Mm-hmm.
When you only lost by a 3-pointer.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
For the number 2 seed in the West, the one guy that's supposed to have been showing up
It's not.
It's not.
It's not showing up. Now I'm pretty sure whenever I have Cole Johnson back on the shooting lights out, he's going to talk about Jalen Green.
I hope he does.
I know the man very. I'm starting to figure out. I know this man very well. He's going to look at Jalen Green.
When you have him on, can I join you?
This doesn't make any sense.
None.
Cole is going to roast that poor man.
Cole is going to roast him, fry him, fricassee him.
Because that don't make any sense. You're the franchise player.
And you
supposedly.
And your high has been 38. And then your lows are consisted of 7, 8,
and
9.
He's counting up at least.
The precipitous drop from game 2 is astounding.
Agreed.
That's true.
And then which shifts me to the other game.
Oh God.
Astounding.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
We watched Memphis get their ass whooped on Easter Sunday to kick off the playoffs, by the way.
What was the question you posed, Playmaker? Why do teams love getting their ass kicked on holidays?
Good question.
This wasn't a holiday.
This wasn't a holiday.
But if you're Cleveland, it's a holiday called We Got Out of the First Round.
Matter of fact, when Memphis got their ass whooped, they was in OKC, so they was actually on the road.
Absolutely.
This ass whooping was in Miami.
Here's the thing that got me on that. Because I was watching Chisel Adonis. While he was doing his Raw review.
Yes.
And he gets updates about the game.
Mm-hmm.
First thing he said, what was it? What was the score?
Don't-
82. Go ahead.
I can do this. When me and Koo got done with Monarchs of Wrestling,
Yes, sir.
I turned to the TV and I literally saw the score of 46-17, 8 minutes into the second quarter. I'm like,
what?
Oh, this is done.
Wait. I have the perfect button. When you saw the score of what, sir?
I said, what the hell is this?
Wait. What was the score you saw?
It was 46-17.
Which prompted Playmaker to ask the following question.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Man, let's get it right. That game was this. Let's be real.
By the half,
that's Austin's music.
By the half, it was 82-38. I'm sitting here like, what? Did man decide we're not showing up today? Did they pull Chicago Bulls?
82
to 38
to 33.
Did they try to pull Chicago Bulls?
And
And
you
just not
made
show
it,
up?
well, you know what it made it so bad because out of all the TV stations to cover it, it had to be TNT.
It had.
Oh boy!
It had to be TNT, and it had to be Spiro Ditas on the call.
Kenny, the Jet Smith sat here and said the only time the Miami Heat showed they wanted to play was in the last minute of the game when they went on a 5-0 run.
Yep, and he's right.
If you take away that 5-0 run, they would have got their ass whooped by 60.
Mm-hmm.
Which would have been a record in the NBA.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen some beat downs, but damn.
He said, "Take away that 5-0."
They waited for the last parts of the game to go on a 5-0 run, so they didn't get beat by 60. That's the only time y'all want to show up.
Man, they ran into the Brock Lesnar of the NBA.
They really did.
And they got a Stone Cold Stunner, a Rock Bottom, a Last Ride, and an F5.
No, you know what? Since
Only
I know
one game.
Victor want me to talk some wrestling, we're gonna talk some wrestling later on. I'm gonna tie some wrestling into it. You know what happened to the Miami Heat? The same thing that happened to Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw.
Oh my God!
Oh!
Super spear after super spear after super spear. Yeah. Yeah.
Sammy, take the deal. No, you want to be a hard ass, and then you got your ass whooped.
You want to be a loyalist to Jey Uso.
Yeah, then he ends up getting speared at 23 miles an hour. Yeah.
Ain't no one stop it either. Ain't no one sitting there like, I'll still nope. Jay was already out. Where did Jimmy go? I have no idea where Jimmy went.
Jimmy's a SmackDown superstar.
Shoot, SmackDown superstars go on Raw all the time.
No, they stopping that once WrestleMania is over with. That's done.
John Cena was just on Raw. What was it, last week?
But he's the WWE champion now. So
also they back to making that a universal again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God, no.
Well, you've been paying attention.
We'll talk about that later.
But anyway,
but at least Memphis,
right? At least
put up a fight.
They had a spine.
They put up a fight. They just lost by a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
At home, they put up a fight. We're talking about the Miami Heat. Heat coacher. What the hell was he coaching last night?
I have no clue.
Fizzled out.
Not present.
No clue whatsoever.
In the club with J-Lo, probably.
And you know, it's a slap to the face of the Heat fans.
That is.
Jimmy Butler is about to advance to the Western Conference semifinals.
That's what I texted earlier. I said the biggest mistake. So the biggest mistake that Miami made, giving away Jimmy Butler.
Yep.
And they did give him away. They gave him away.
Pat Riley, Stephen A. said it this morning. My brother said it to me last night. And I'm pretty sure if Snowman was to pull the Heat fans that he know, they'll probably agree to. It's time for Pat Riley to step away.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Ben time. What are we talking about?
Pat Riley should have been gone.
Well, you can't say it because they did go to 2 finals in the last, 4 or 5 years. So, But what this season did, it shows that Pat Riley, you can't do it old school no more, Pat. It doesn't work. You did it to LeBron. You did it to D Wade. You did it to Shaq. Now you did it to Jimmy.
Yep.
And this one right here,
it's
the biggest slap because you see what happened last night. Heat fans had to watch one of the biggest ass whoopings in Miami franchise history.
My God.
When you think of Miami, you don't think of ass whoopings.
No.
You think of them dishing them out, not taking them.
When you think of Miami, you think about Miami. If you survive the Miami Heat, you see legally like, hey man, I just went through a hell of a fight.
Last night, however,
I mean, you would think, like if that was an Alonzo Mourning led team, that wouldn't happen. Hell, that was a D Wade led team, that wouldn't happen. How do you fall this far?
I'll tell you how.
Have a
lowered expectation.
It could be. That's why I want to play my play. What did you see in that game? Because it seems like for some reason Miami just said we're not going any further. We're just going to give up now.
What Miami said last night was,
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
Oh, they pulled the Bugs Bunny. Get me out of here! Yeah. I just don't understand how you fall that hard on your ass.
Pat Riley, might be time for you to go. Maybe Eric Spoelstra should take your position. They hire a new coach. I have no problem with Spoelstra. Spoelstra is dealing with the hand he's dealt. And for the most part, he made good on the hand he has dealt.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't make the basketball decision that comes from Pat Riley. Pat Riley, this is on you, sir. I don't care how you claim it. This is on you. Y'all got some decisions to make because this won't stand with the Mickey Arison's group in Miami because they don't get ass whoopers like this.
No.
And you know changes coming because Ben already said it after the game. There's going to be a lot of changes coming. Mm-hmm. Where the changes is the question. And then back to Houston.
It's the double hot seat.
Didn't want y'all to learn it this way, but unfortunately, you played yourself into this position. Now you have to learn the hard way. You must play consistent basketball in the NBA playoffs.
Yes, sir.
There's going to be ebbs and flow through a series. But if you can play consistent basketball, you don't got to get the same numbers every game. You don't believe me? Let's take a trip to Minneapolis. You know who the face of the league going to be after a while?
Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact he said he don't want to be, but you know why he want to be the face of the league? Because 1 year ago, he looked at his mentor carrying the ring. He said, "I'm kicking your ass." you meant to or not, I'm kicking your ass. And he proceeded to do so. And then this year, 1 year later, he sees LeBron just looking down and said, I'm kicking y'all ass. And proceeds to do so.
Yes, sir.
You want to know how you become a face of the league? Because when fans can see you go at other stars and say, I'm taking over, I don't care who you are.
When they call their shot.
Anthony Edwards was literally in a tussle with LeBron James.
And did not care.
Did not back down. And then proceeded to go for 43 points. Maybe Jalen Green, go watch Anthony Edwards. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two.
Maybe. Maybe. Ugh.
That's
And
amazing.
to close this out, Milwaukee, are you going to show some fight?
No. No.
Detroit, are you going to show some fight?
They have no
Detroit
fight.
got screwed. Detroit got
Still,
screwed.
they got screwed, but are they going to show some fight?
No.
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 Nope. Nope.
Not Madison Square Garden.
Not unless
that
they
third-
pull, unless they
and
do
that-
what Philadelphia did last year.
And that third team, I don't even want to talk about them.
That third.
We already know they're gonna get their ass bounced. They're gonna be on the golf course with Miami soon anyway.
You shut up.
Damn, bruh.
You shut up. The only reason why you in the position because we gave you 2 of them damn games.
You shouldn't have done that.
Oh, man.
That's your own damn mistake, not mine. We just capitalized on it, bruh.
And isn't that exactly what I said yesterday? When you play the champs, you don't make mistakes.
That's true.
And that third team.
And that
That third team, man. Granted, we don't have Jalen Suggs, we don't have Mo Wagner, but we still could have won. We still could have stole game 2 in Boston.
should have stolen all 3.
We could have stole game 2 in Boston. And we
Could've.
should have won game 4. But you know what? This is what happens when you get to the fourth quarter and you don't take the correct shots. You turn the ball over and you commit stupid fouls.
This is also what happens when you piss Boston off in the fourth quarter.
You know, the funny thing is with you saying that it's not really one game this series when y'all have whooped our ass.
No, but Orlando's pissed us off enough to end up screwing themselves in the foot. We just take advantage of them.
And that's the more Horford part. It's like I can sit here and say we literally gave Boston 2 of these damn games. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's easy to sit here and be like, we getting there, but damn, why we still got to keep learning lessons.
School of Hard Knocks is up in Boston, man. People got to learn.
See, it's one of the things why I'm actually kind of glad I don't have like a true die-hard fan base because my team's already out. Bulls have been out for a bit, so I'm like, hey.
So as we get ready to hit the top of the hour, Orlando, you're not winning in Boston tonight.
Nope.
No.
Just don't get your ass whipped like the Miami Heat did. That's all.
Just do it worse.
All right, let's go to the top of the hour.
Jay Spivey will join us at the top of the hour after these.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
During bad, SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Into hour 2 we go, and somebody should tell the Charlotte Hornets executive board, "You're fired." And the person that should deliver that message is this man. He's been so patient since we were talking NBA. He joins us today. Jay Spivey, how are you, man?
Good, gentlemen. How you doing?
Doing good. Jay sent me an Instagram message about the worst organization in the NBA, and I'm just going to give Jay the floor about it right now.
Well, I mean, I can't say that I was terribly surprised, but
nope.
The Hornets are the worst organization in the NBA, according to this group that I found the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And Not surprising, seeing as they don't seem to know how to win games and know how to develop a team or anything like that. So, and then I don't know how there could possibly be a fan base at this point.
I don't know either.
Is it just that there's like a bunch of crazies who are just like, maybe 1 year we'll actually get it right. 1 year we'll actually make it all the way.
What they should be kind of doing is kind of like what Oklahoma City's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Develop around the draft, but again,
Where are they picking?
They keep getting in the, now. I know the lottery's coming up here soon. They have no chance to win the lottery. We all know that. It's not going to happen.
Speaking of which, Shane, you doing me a favor? Can you see how many draft picks OKC got?
How many draft picks?
Which is still ridiculous to know this team is that darn good and they got so many freaking draft picks.
Well, the Hornets have nothing. They have literally nothing.
Right.
And you know darn well they're going to draft like
Middle of the
4th or
round.
6th, and there's not going to be anybody really good available at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 3 in the first round and 1 in the second round. Their playmaker.
3 first round picks. The number one team in the NBA has
has
3 first round picks.
Yep.
That's just this year.
One of their
That's just-
picks
it's
is through
like-
Miami. One of their picks is through the Clippers, and then one of them is via Philadelphia, protected 1 through 6.
Which should explain the plight of the Clippers, and in many cases should explain the plight of the 76ers.
If Sam Presti doesn't win an NBA title within the next 5 years,
And
we
on
need to have
the
a
show, as I've
conversation.
discussed,
Mm-hmm.
it's not Charlotte is not a destination for free agents, and they
Yeah,
don't sign.
'cause-
They don't seem to sign their own players anyway.
Because the last major free agent they had, they couldn't keep him due to injury, Gordon Hayward.
Now, when the first group of Charlotte Hornets came in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, until the very end when it fell apart, the ownership was willing to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
This group here, no matter who their owner is, they don't know how to spend, they don't know how to develop, they don't know how to draft, they don't know how to anything.
Charlotte ain't been relevant since the Chris Paul, David West days.
Yep. And they were in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And they were in New Orleans.
Had
All right.
they been able to draft Chris Paul or Steph Curry, who were both from North Carolina, that
Mhm.
might have changed things.
Easily. Speaking of Carolina, your thoughts on the Panthers draft class?
They seemed like they did okay. I mean, wasn't great, but I mean, it's better than it could have been, I guess. I mean, they seem to be going the right direction, I think.
I thought they did pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I better than a lot of teams did. I mean, I wouldn't say it was spectacular, but I think they did pretty well, yeah.
Who stands out to you in this draft class the most, Jay?
You about overall or just for them?
For the Panthers.
Just for the Panthers.
You know, honestly, I know they got a couple linemen, but I really believe their best move might have been at who they picked up in free agency this past weekend. I think Hunter Renfrow might be a steal.
I agree with that.
I mean, he's not great, but he's going to help them a lot.
So what makes them? Are they ready to compete? Let me just ask that. Are they ready to compete yet?
Maybe in that sorry division, but no, I don't. No, not overall. No.
In the NFC South, what are your thoughts on the overall draft class of the NFC South?
I think the Falcons probably had the best class. The Saints maybe, but I think probably the Falcons had the best class. But I mean, again, they have a mess that they developed from last year by signing Cousins and then drafting a quarterback.
What about
We
Tyra?
still laugh at that to this day.
That makes no sense to me.
None. You
What about-
sign Kirk Cousins, you guarantee his full contract. Listen again. You guarantee his full contract. And then you go and select Michael Penix in the draft.
And now they either not trade him or can't trade him. I don't know which is which.
Would
I thought
it ever
he could get traded this weekend or last week. No.
would it ever be a day where we can just watch the draft and just let everything play out?
No.
No.
Because Because when the Rams did their draft last year, everybody was like, they did all right. But guess what? Guess what defense was like the most talked about outside of Philly? Full of young draft picks.
That's not ever going to happen because the NFL draft is going to be nitpicked to the very end.
And that's the unfortunate thing is, when I do say it's unfortunate, it's because nowadays everybody is so analytical about whatever the hell's going to happen with their pick, let alone anyone else on the team. It's kind of ruined the thought of, hey, this guy's going here for this pick. Good for him.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Spivey, what are your thoughts on Tacharoa McMillan? You know, being
that seemed to be a little bit of surprise to the guys. They all thought that who was the receiver? Everybody thought he was going that they were going to draft. It was
Hunter.
Who's the guy that everybody thought they were going to draft?
I know this. Tampa Bay got a steal.
Yeah, Emeka
Buka.
Who's the receiver there that got drafted after he was?
Well, Emeka was.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Panthers. He went like a couple picks after.
Matthew Golden. You talking about Matthew Golden?
That's it. Everybody thought the Panthers were going to draft him. That's it. Judging for what the so-called experts thought that was a bit of a reach for the Panthers, so that wouldn't surprise me. They seem to have no clue. I'm sure that was a David Tepper move too.
I want to talk about the draft itself, the overhype, the production, and all that stuff. And of course, they had it in a historic place in Lambeau Field, in Green Bay. But the days where they had it in New York and it was quiet, except the whole Warren Sapp thing, which I think started the uproar. But then again, it's the Jets. Why are we not surprised? But it's gone crazy.
That's going to continue. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of people at these things.
Yeah.
I think they said 600,000 through the 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
that's
what?
600,000 people in 3 days.
Not one bit.
Look, all I'm saying is
everything NFL related is huge. Everything.
The first round should not take the entire playoff slate of the NBA.
Yes, it should.
Actually, that was pretty.
I mean,
this past Friday's first round was quick by their standards.
The Thursday,
yeah, very much so, because
the
they
Thursday
lowered
night went pretty quick by their standards.
The
first round went quick because they lowered the time from 15 minutes per pick.
Well, not only that, I mean, everybody seemed to have a clue for the most part.
Yeah, that too.
For once,
because as it continued to go on, there were more commercials and more things to trot out, more awards to trot out, which I'm like, couldn't y'all done this like on the Hall of Fame game or the Pro Bowl? Like, y'all have to do this now?
No.
We all know it's a cash cow.
It is.
The NFL prints money.
Still, they can do the first round in about 2.5, 3 hours, and then be done with it.
That first round was way faster than it usually goes.
Because
it usually take 5 hours and usually in the first round.
Well, it went about 3.5. That's not bad.
I was going to say it usually takes 4 because we tried doing this 2 years ago, and
you were damn near asleep.
I was knocked out. I was knocked out on my feet to the point where my wife had to come in and drag me to bed. I was knocked out.
What do people have better to do if they're going to watch it? Why not watch the whole thing on Friday night or excuse me, Thursday night? So I mean, what else do you have to do?
It's going to take that long.
Are you picking these guys? I mean, are you going to have a pick like immediately? That's just crazy talk.
I'm just saying though, you have all this draft board, you make your draft board, you got all this going on.
Oh,
of course you
much
taking
harder
calls.
than you think it is. It is much harder than you think it is.
All I'm saying is it shouldn't take almost 5 hours.
Especially as you get to the middle and latter part of the first round, it's much harder than you think it is.
It is because the most hype picks are gone.
Well, this year was even
Not
harder
even this year was like that though.
There were no quarterbacks.
Exactly.
It wasn't like that this year. Like it seemed like most people were like picking around what they wanted, and then if it was still there, they go for it.
Let's have
Case
a
in
laugh.
point, Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Victor.
Don't get me started. Bro.
You crawled inside my head. Jay, what the heck were the Pittsburgh Steelers doing?
And they're keeping waiting. Listen, I think he's a great quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen. But how long does it take to make a decision?
Sorry for cussing, but does Pittsburgh Steelers are waiting on Aaron Rodgers?
That's what I just said. What is he waiting on? It's been almost 4 months. What's he waiting on?
I was doing that to Snowman. You say Aaron Rodgers.
This Aaron Rodgers saga is worse than LeBron James's decision.
The Jets finished in early January. How long does it take?
How long does it take? As long as Aaron Rodgers wants it to take.
And
we're talking
that's
about
the
Aaron
damn
Rodgers
problem.
Here. We're talking
That's
about
the-
Aaron Rodgers here.
That's the damn problem. Is Rodgers is the one dictating this bullshit?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He basically has their feet hanging over the fire. He knows that.
Here's the thing: Aaron Rodgers ain't dictating it. Pittsburgh is just sitting there.
Yep.
Like,
Pittsburgh
dude,
is just sitting there.
he's telling you he doesn't have a time limit. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Pittsburgh's like, nah, we'll wait.
The other thing is, after the draft concluded on Saturday, the first piece of news that came out, we may have a decision soon on Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't said a word about
Right.
Aaron Rodgers for
Right.
72 hours.
Right.
Who could possibly care now?
Who
Pittsburgh.
gives 2/5 of a half of a damn
Why
about
didn't Cleveland
Aaron
sign him? They only have 5 quarterbacks. All right, go ahead and sign him too.
So you're telling me that day one decision could come between Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph? Who could care about this season? I maintain it. I do not think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to make it to the playoffs this year.
I don't either.
I ain't saying that because Mike told me he found ways. I don't know how he does it.
I mean, I think
Not
it's pretty
this year.
obvious he's going to go to Pittsburgh. But how long?
You
does it
said that
take?
last year. You remember that?
I've
You
said that I've said that the last 4 years.
and you're on 4.
I'm on. I'll probably be 0-5. So the hell with it.
One of their biggest problems is Pickens.
Oh God,
Pickens has so much talent, and he's just an
Crash
idiot.
out Pickens.
He's an idiot.
he is an idiot.
He's a head case. He's an idiot. He's a troublemaker. If they could harness some of that ability, oh my goodness.
Crash out because he has the talent.
Crash out.
We've seen him have talent. I've seen him make catches that
Victor
I don't
just
think should
said
be
the
humanly
greatest-
possible.
Victor just said one of the greatest nicknames I've ever heard.
I've seen
Crash out Pickens.
I've seen Pickens make some of the most outrageous catches that should not be
So have
humanly
I.
possible, but he can do it. But he always messes up because he want to crash out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's apropos for Georgia players since they all get called for speeding.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Oof. Okay.
True.
Or more accurately, racing.
Or racing.
Yeah, because they can't get down to the speedway, so they're stupid enough to do it in the hills. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this seems like it's a Georgia issue.
Well, it's not their fault they think they can be Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
Well,
I can't comment on it because I got beaten by a Georgia Bulldog wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. So I can't say nothing about Georgia right now.
it's either him or Justin Tucker or
Mhm.
Deshaun Watson.
Oh God.
Deshaun Watson is done in Cleveland.
Let's go to Cleveland,
and
before we go to the bottom of the hour.
The Cleveland soap opera.
Yes,
Cleveland
it
Clowns
should be
would
called
be
the Cleveland
clowning.
Browns. They should be called the Cleveland. You know what?
I got to tell this story
I
real
was
quick.
thinking-
So, man.
I was thinking of this question on the way in today. What would be an appropriate television theme song for a team? And the instant I thought of that question and I began to voice it aloud, my wife comes out and says Days of Our Lives, because she knew I was talking about the Cleveland Browns.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Hey,
The sands through the hourglass. These are the days of our lives.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Are we putting the Cleveland Browns on Hard Knocks this year?
I
I
wouldn't
got
surprise me one bit.
I was gonna-
Let me answer Playmaker's question, and I say this with a 2-foot smile on my face. Who gives 2/5 of a half of a damn if the Cleveland Browns are on Hard Knocks?
Everybody will, you know why? Everybody want to know that quarterback room. Everybody want to get an inside look at that quarterback room.
He's right.
I do not.
That man, you heard what Jay said. The NFL is about money.
I got
a bigger money if you don't put Cleveland Browns on the Hard Knocks this year.
Hold on. I got to tell this story real quick because this is going to remain the funniest thing I've ever seen in the draft. We were watching the draft. The Browns had the second pick. They traded down.
Yes.
To the fifth. This is how Jacksonville got Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the fifth pick. Who's it? Was it Mason Graham? I think it was.
Mason Graham out of Michigan.
Bay sat there. Now, mind you, my feed is ahead of everybody's that we were watching. Mine was ahead of Brian's and Bay's.
Yeah.
Bay sat there and said, "Don't lie to me. Don't get beat up."
He said, Don't get beat up.
When I said, "No, I'm not lying."
And then it popped through. And then it popped through on my feed, and I repeated it.
Right. Bay had to mute himself.
He did.
And he went on at least a good 2.5 minute cuss rant.
On mute?
On mute.
Yes. On mute. I will clip that and I'll have it tomorrow.
You can see him cussing.
I will have that tomorrow.
As far as the theme song for the Browns, it's gotta be whatever the Bozo the Clown theme song was for the show.
I gotta go back
Benny,
to Days of Our Lives.
Give me Benny Hill for that one.
Let me bring Jay. Let's bring Jay back in. Days of Our Lives is the perfect song, as I just knocked over my water for the Cleveland Browns, because they still can't get it right to present day.
Well, there again, it comes down to ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So the question now is, now that Shedeur is there, how do you?
But why do they need him? They don't need him.
They don't.
When and where is he going to play?
I made a crazy prediction.
Hold on. I can do this. Deshaun Watson is done.
Yeah, so Deshaun Watson's done. James Winston's gone.
Nobody on this panel and nobody in Cleveland, matter of fact, nobody in the United States of America believes on Kenny Pickett.
Whether Deshaun Watson's there done or not, they're still going to have to pay him every penny of that contract.
Yep, because they guarantee
there's no out of that because they gave him a full deal. Stupidly.
I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to get out of it.
There's no way they can get out of it.
No, it's guaranteed, dude. It's full blown.
Yeah, I know it's guaranteed, but still, they're not finna play him. Plus, he's injured.
That doesn't matter. They got to pay him.
Doesn't matter. He's going to get every penny of that contract because of two simple.
But you still have
you're
to have
hamstrung by that contract already.
There are two words in Deshaun Watson. There are two words in Deshaun Watson's contract that handcuff the Cleveland Browns. Fully guaranteed.
Y'all not hearing me. I'm saying he's not stepping on the field as a Cleveland Brown ever again.
It does not matter. In essence, he's still playing because they can't pay anybody because of his contract.
They can still pay him, but he's not stepping on the field. That's my point.
That does not matter.
Which means it would have to be Shedeur. There'd be
nobody believes in Kenny Pickett.
No.
Everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to say there's no way that Dylan Gabe is better than Shedeur Sanders.
The only other person, yeah, I could see Flacco starting.
And Flacco's going to be the starter.
Flacco will probably do 4 games and then get injured.
Probably. And I'm dead over here.
I'm
if you
sorry,
see me,
I
looking
love
off
Flacco, but he's getting too old.
But Snowman, you like throwing questions out here. Right? Let me throw you a question out here to entice you. How many games would it take for the Browns fans to say they want Shedeur Sanders on the field?
2.
1.
Way more than 1.
1.
Way more than 1.
It'll take 1. Shedeur Sanders is the popular pick. Shedeur Sanders is the pick that should have, according to many, gone earlier.
A lot earlier.
He was a third rounder at absolute best.
He was a third rounder at best. I said it for 2 years that he's a third rounder at best. Shouldn't have fallen to the 5th round, admittedly, but he was a third rounder at best.
So I asked this to you, Mr. Spivey. What do you think was the main cause? We know there were a bunch of causes. What do you think was the main cause for Shedeur's drop?
It had nothing to do with him other than the fact that apparently he gave a lot of bad interviews. Now that probably played an impact, but it sounds like he sounded like he was entitled, and I get that too.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest part is they don't want to deal with the Dion drama.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking.
Which took a lot of teams off the board too.
That's why I don't get why these people that don't know what they're talking about and say, "Oh, it's such a disgrace where he got picked and how he was treated and this and that." Well, that's what happens when your dad runs the show.
There's a particular 4-letter word that was also used about that, especially when New York picked Dart over Sanders.
It's a 6-letter word actually.
Well, apparently, from what I heard, at least on I guess it was Sunday, there were a lot of teams that didn't even have him on their draft boards.
I'm certain
they did not.
From Boomer Esiason, it said that the owners told their GM to take him off the board.
But it was just there's a lot of people who think it was collusion among the owners and GMs. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that at all.
I heard many
honestly,
people,
I don't either.
I don't either.
I broke down. I spent half of an episode breaking down Shedeur Sanders' game fundamentally. From his game, I broke down his game on the field, and then you mix in the Dion factor.
Yeah,
and I said he was a 3rd rounder at best. And a lot of supporters of Dion came after me saying, "You can't say that about Shedeur." I just did.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about this quote unquote collusion against Shedeur, and they named one of the person. They named this one of the person alongside. They said this gives off the same vibes as one Colin Kaepernick.
No,
get the hell out of here.
This is totally different.
And that's what I said. Like, that's totally different. That's a completely different situation.
And they were saying it to us when we did the draft Thursday night.
Listen, if people thought Shedeur was good enough to play, they would have drafted him in the first round.
Right.
They would have listened.
But they don't want to deal with the Dion drama.
If they thought Shedeur was good enough to play, Cleveland would not have traded back into the 5th pick.
Right.
Period.
And to give you an example, ladies and gentlemen, who was the number 1 pick last year?
Good point. Caleb
Williams.
Caleb Williams
Waterfeld through the draft process.
You can't act entitled. You got to go through the whole process. You can't say, "Well, my dad's one of the greatest players
that's
ever."
The difference.
And that's
Caleb
something I
Williams
absolutely
went through the entire process.
And I would absolutely fault Dion on that because that's your son. If anything, you need to instill that humility, because the thing is, you are still interviewing for a job. Yes, your talent gives you confidence of like what people will deal with. But if you come in there with an attitude, if you come in there egotistical, like you all love it, trust me, they're not. Even if you do have a good amount of talent, they're gonna say, "We don't want to deal with this headache."
The only person to have any issue whatsoever with how he was handled was Jeff Ulbricht's son. That was completely and utterly disgraceful how that was handled.
Oh, with the prank call?
Yeah, you just can't do that.
No,
he prank called other players too. He prank called other players too.
Jeff Ulbricht's son should be fired.
He should got clowned. He should have got clowned or disgraced. It's like,
listen, I know Jeff technically Ulbricht had nothing to do with this,
right?
But he needs to come out and speak.
Yeah, and say like, "Look, my son did something incredibly insensitive and wrong." Because in the end, you are still messing with these players' lives. Remember, their lives and their prospective livelihoods comes from whether or not they're going to get drafted. So when you call someone saying, "Yeah, we want to draft you," it's like, "Yeah, we're thinking about it's going to take a little bit long," and you're doing that just to make fun of them. What was the point of that? What was the reason?
There was no point whatsoever.
None.
How many kids have anybody's phone numbers other than him? You just happen to get somebody's phone out of his number in it.
I would have made him do a public apology.
My question is, how did he get those numbers in the first place?
The laptop.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He got hold of a laptop.
He got a hold of his dad's laptop.
I would have made him stand up in front of a press conference and do a public apology.
Actually, you can do that, but that doesn't do anything.
You know what I would have done? If I were Jeff Ulbricht's son's dad, if I were Jeff Ulbricht, you know what I would have done? I'd have stood him up in front of the podium.
That's what he should do, but he won't do that. He's not gonna do that.
I know, but
I make him
here's
answer
what I would've
questions.
done. Give me this button here. I would have stood my son up in front of the podium and told him 2 words.
You fired.
Now get the hell out and stay. I told him get
The
the hell
very
out and stay
least
out.
you
Fired
can
from
do is
what,
have him
though?
call
That's
on
the thing.
show
Fired
and
from what?
apologize.
Right, because I don't think he has a job in that. I don't think he has a
Fired
job.
from what? Where'd you gonna fire him from? He doesn't work for the Atlanta Falcons.
I still would have told him that.
The very least he could do is have him call Shador and apologize.
He won't do that.
Don't get on. Don't do this crap about being on Twitter or Instagram. Don't do that. That's not apologizing.
You call the person you pranked.
That's not
and
apologizing.
You make an apology.
Don't send an email. Don't send a text. That is not apologizing.
Voice to voice. Voice
I was
to
at
voice
face
is
to
how that
face.
should be handled.
I was at face to face.
Yeah,
that would have been better. That's better. That's better. Thank
I
you.
agree
Victor.
with that.
That's
100%,
better.
But I doubt that'll happen.
No, that won't happen.
And
I would
player-
have done that face to
kudos
face.
to every player, including Shador Center, for how they handled that.
Yeah, because Lord of mercy, someone would have been throwing furniture if it really came down to it. But it's like again, this thing also kind of gets me with this whole pranking situation. Like people can be absolute asshats, absolute bellends, but as long as you put "it's a prank," it's like it's supposed to excuse everything.
Supposed to excuse you from that, and that's not the. And
It's
that's
not
not
excuse
the
you from
case.
consequences for your actions. If you actually you was going to get clowned, you should
And
get clowned whether or not it was a prank or not.
In 4 words, it's happened to me, and Victor, you know the situation.
Oh yeah,
It happened to me very recently, very recently.
Well, whatever happened to you and anybody else this has happened to is disgraceful and should never be done.
True.
Should never be done in the first place. We're up against the break. Jay Spivey joins us. He's joining us on a Tuesday because Monday got flipped upside down. Jay, thanks for being patient. We appreciate you, and we will talk to you next Monday. That's a promise.
All righty.
Thank you, Jay.
Coming up next after the break.
Open forum?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
No, not that.
No, we're not. No,
we are not doing.
We're supposed to
we
be
are
doing an
not
open
doing that.
forum next.
Oh, we are not doing that either.
Oh, now okay, now I see what you're doing now. Open forum next because Victor and the Snow Crew, they want to talk some wrestling with the playmaker.
You ain't saying it right. It's wrestling.
It's professional wrestling. All right. We're back.
Shut up, bitch.
Shut up, Dwayne.
You
You
know
know
what,
that when you
Shane?
actually get
The timing of that.
Yeah, the timing was perfect.
You want that back in the ring.
You know what, Shane? You, and you.
The timing was impeccable.
Yeah,
We're back in the deuce, everyone.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
Go. Excellent. Yeah, I saw you guys out there.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Shane Lake, you a soul playmaker. I mean it playfully. You a soul. And to my best friend of 25 years, Victor Locke, you a big old soul.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have something to
Open
deal
panel
with.
It's open panel time. And
hang on a second here. Let me find the. I got it right here. Open panel, huh?
Hey.
All right. So I'm gonna give Big Dog the first question because Big Dog usually ain't on when I talk wrestling. So
I actually got nothing to really ask because I've been watching everything go down, and I'm just left scratching my head like,
okay,
what the hell?
So I gotta ask this question. So what exactly is going on with the Rhea and Io? Are they cool? Are they not cool? They just have like this thing with Julia and Roxanne. When they said Julia was about to get brought up.
So
Julia and Roxanne are both supposed to be brought up.
No, they are. They are. It's official.
But Julia was brought up before Mania.
No, Julia was brought up after Mania.
No, not Julia. I mean, Roxanne.
Roxanne was brought up.
Roxanne was back and forth, so she wasn't officially brought up. Now she's officially brought up. So they got their thing going on. Victor, you've seen this because you've been watching wrestling for a long time. You know, when you good friends with people, and Snowman knows this, they'll make some of the best matches, some of the best rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's what Io, Rhea, and Bianca have. They came into NXT together.
Right.
They've been on this path together now. With Bianca out with a broken finger, broken head, back on SmackDown. It's a mutual respect thing between Rhea and Io. But you know how that works when there's a championship in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with someone as championship hungry as Rhea is.
But there's a mutual respect, and then all of a sudden your NXT call-ups decided to jump into the main scene right out the gate.
Okay.
So we need to show some respect around here.
Right. Is Pat McAfee gonna die at Backlash?
Oh, we know he's gonna get his head caved in.
He's gonna lose.
He's gonna get demolished at Backlash.
He's gonna lose. He's definitely gonna lose. But
it seems like Pat is trying to step into that Jerry Lawler role, not in terms of the perviness, but more like in terms of whenever someone tried to come at JR, the first person to step in line was King.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, when Taz was trying to like make fun of JR and King, you know, cold cocked him because King don't do the open hand. He close fists you. He close fist punch you. And see that they're trying to do with Pat McAfee. Like he's gonna be like that dog. It's like, yeah, I could get in there with someone like a Gunther. I don't think that's possible, but
if you follow Pat McAfee, even outside of wrestling, you know, Pat McAfee is one of those. Put it in simplest terms. He's from the hood. He's not gonna do things by the book.
That's true.
No,
nope.
We're not finna sit here. We ain't calling no lawyers.
Right.
We ain't doing no suits. No, we ain't doing none of that. We gonna handle business how business is handled in the hood. Mano y mano.
Mano y mano.
Right.
So that's what Pat McAfee's doing. So if you ever follow Pat McAfee, it's pretty much Pat McAfee being Pat McAfee.
Right, that's fair.
Oh, we knew that was coming, especially with that promo he cut.
And in case you don't know, don't remember, Pat McAfee played at the University of West Virginia, and I've been through West Virginia, and half of that state is hood. No, change that. 3/4 of that state is hood.
And let's not forget when he was working with Joe Colts, he ain't afraid to lay the wood to somebody.
So when's the wake for Sami Zayn?
So after the wake for LeBron James and the Lakers.
Oh boy. I knew he was going to be a sacrificial limb, especially after apparently Jay got cold cocked backstage by Logan Paul. So okay, so he's going to be out.
Logan Paul.
Apparently Jimmy wasn't there.
Sammy, you can't fight every battle.
Yeah, Sammy's like that crash test dummy. He's like,
you can't fight every battle. They literally said you can take the deal, go to SmackDown, and get a WWE Championship match out the gate.
Mm-hmm. But no,
Seth had that kind of power.
He got Paul Heyman with him. You got to remember that.
Sami Zayn decided to go the other way and take a big fat.
He took a big fat M for murder. In fact, Detective Vic A. Law's on the case about who was behind the murder of Sami Zayn.
Look, to the Detective Vic A. Law, you're falling behind on your cases.
I have too many cases to follow.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you right now.
At least Becky Lynch saw one for you already. At least Becky Lynch already saw one of your cases for you. She just went and came out and said it.
She said, I did it.
She just came out and said it. She didn't even wait.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So I get the whole thing with Bayley because they're going back between Damage Control and Becky Lynch and all that. I get that. But Lyra was your girl. All she did was lose a match, and you beat the dog mess out of her.
No, if you paid attention, it was the fact that she was going to be tagging with Bayley to begin with.
Right, but the thing was, we didn't even know Becky was even going to come back until like game time decision because she was supposed to be, taking care of her injuries and being a mom and everything. Most people were even saying that Becky was retiring.
Becky was not retiring. If you paid attention to Seth Rollins.
Well, no, if you pay attention to Seth Rollins, I'm talking about like in terms of dirt sheets, people were saying that.
See, don't listen to the dirt sheets. See, that's the thing. You can't listen to the dirt sheets.
Nope, you can't.
I was listening to Seth Rollins. I was talking about Seth Rollins when he made appearances on NFL Network and all these other stations. He said Becky was not retiring.
I gotta call out Seth on this. Seth, why was you trolling the people of Lambeau Field?
Because it's a hilarious
Bear. You're a Chicago Bear fan. What you supposed to do?
You troll. Yeah, but there's a difference between trolling and lying. He said the best quarterback in Izzy North. Bro. He said the best quarterback in the Izzy North was Caleb Williams.
If Snowman goes into LA,
oh God,
he's supposed to troll the LA Rams fans. That's how it's supposed to go.
Also, if
Victor, if you go to Philly or New York, you're supposed to troll them.
I'm keeping my mouth shut because I can't fight that many people, especially not Philly fans. Philly fans are too rabid. They're on a different
Notice
planet.
Never trolled in my life.
Hey, ain't nobody calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, are you still?
Get that shit out of here.
I had enough of that on TFT.
No,
and you playing?
notice the fact that Playmaker left me out of this.
You under arrest, dog, for that one. That's a war crime.
Well, saying everybody hates y'all, so I mean
that's true. Everyone does hate me. I don't know why. What
Now,
I do,
I
y'all?
would say that
I mean, everybody hates the Patriots. I mean, what more do you want?
Listen,
Everybody hates the Patriots.
I control Shane. I control the big dog by saying 2 words. Actually, quite a few words, but lately I can say 2 words that will troll Shane and will get him yelling at me.
Okay.
Carter Verhage.
Oh.
Why'd you go there?
Because it's fun. I'll give you 2 more. Brian Bickle.
So here, okay. So now Logan Paul wants to challenge Jey Uso for the title.
Yep.
You mean he's? I
we-
can't do it. I can't do it.
Does match really need to happen? Does it really?
Uppercut.
Because at some point, Logan Paul's got to go for the title. He's not going to win it because it'll be Jey Uso's first defense, and you usually don't lose on your first defense.
Right.
You're a champion. But they've been at some point. Look, sorry, Snowman. I'm very sorry, but I have to be honest. And you know, I like to keep it a buck. At some point between the end of this year or next year, Logan Paul will be a world champion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even I conceded to that.
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question.
He will be a world champion.
I will say this though.
We're gonna hate it, but he's gonna be a world champion.
I conceded to that.
Here's my thing with Logan. I can say this. At least Logan really takes this seriously. Like when you see how he does a lot of his
Training.
workouts and everything, his training, you can tell he takes this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not like a Kevin Federline situation. Like he really likes doing it.
That was one of the worst things WWE came up with was K-Fed coming in.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
No, Paul Allen, we're not.
Oh, and apparently John Cena, Randy Orton, number 29, is coming up at Backlash.
Yes. I told Snowman that was the main event. Thank you, John Cena, for making it official. There wasn't no GM. John Cena made it official.
Yep.
Yeah. Are we looking at a possible split within Judgment Day, or is it going to be maybe even a possible face turn for Dom? Because I would never have thought Dom would have gotten a chant, but he began chants.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more. I think a face turn's coming more for Finn Balor than anyone else in that crew.
Here's the thing: people been getting on Dom for doing one thing and one thing only, and this was like 5-6 years ago.
Turn on his dad.
He turned on his dad, and he been getting booed out the building ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then when WrestleMania came about, it's like, you know what? We've been giving him all this for years. He's been taking it. Good for Dirty Dom. Good job, Dirty Dom. You a champion now. We can accept this.
Yeah, you've been taking this beating like a government mule for 6 years. Now you got a championship. We can live with this.
Yeah.
The fact that getting the title is one thing, but the fact that people start chanting his name, I was like, am I caught in a genjutsu or something? Like, when do y'all start?
When you go through the fire, people seize. When you go through the fire and you come out on the other side.
Yeah.
I will give him that. I'm like, yeah, he has been doing it. If he does decide to turn face, if you were to be the booker to turn down face, how would you do it?
I'm not turning down face. I'm turning Finn Balor face.
Okay.
That you see where I was going with all of that?
Oh, yeah.
Dom right now is too hot to be heel. And the same going with Liv and Raquel and the rest of the judgment.
Because if you
Day.
paid
You gotta
attention,
flip.
if you paid attention, even though he's getting cheered, he's still being a heel.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So it's
You
like,
got to realize Finn's going to be the one getting flipped.
That'd be interesting to see Finn flip again.
Oh, I guarantee it'll happen by the end of the year.
Does he
It's
go
gonna
Demon?
happen.
Does he go Demon King?
Yes.
I think it'll happen. What's the event I'm drawing a blank. Survivor Series?
What? So November?
It'll be SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
It'll be Slam. It'll be Slam.
SummerSlam is the next big event.
Yeah, the next big
Okay.
or
Or
some-
it could be at Money in the Bank because that is in LA. By the way.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, we know for a fact they're not going to flip Liv or Raquel. They're too tied as current tag champs, and Liv's going to be off air for a while filming a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why wasn't Alexa Bliss at Mania? Was she injured?
They're still trying to do something with Wyatt Six and her.
No, Uncle Howdy is injured.
Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas
is injured. Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's what I'm like. But I mean, again, like how come Alexa was not? Because we only see Alexa like maybe once or twice since she came back.
From what I'm hearing, they're
again.
trying to do something with her and the Wyatt Six. There's going to be some big ass brouhaha coming.
Brouhaha.
That'd be.
But leave it. Hey, Triple H, I hope you saw your main event on SmackDown. That's supposed to be on WrestleMania.
Yeah, that would have been good for Mania.
That would have been. And now Jade and Tiff are back at it.
Actually, no, they're not. Naomi decided to butt in.
Oh, I mean that for that one match, they were kind of back at it, and
then Nia Jax returned.
And then Nia Jax returned.
Nia just comes in and blows Tiffany's shit straight out.
I'm just gonna sit on you again, just because I want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on you while you're wearing that belt.
Just because I want to.
Just because I want to. You ain't gonna tell Nia no.
No,
she gonna do it anyway.
I have not been a troll in my life.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
See, lying already. Lying out your
Whatever
ass.
do you mean, sir? It's not like I said this about the Cowboys.
You're screwed. Yeah, you're totally screwed.
You say that every year.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I do not.
Just like you say, bronsexuals are the greatest fan base in the world, right?
You, and you. In case you didn't hear me.
I mean, it's not like we're trolling the bronze sexuals and saying that they can actually survive one of these.
Game 7.
We're gonna ring the bell on that one. Victor with the dub. He threw that right back at you. we call the match. This is done.
The match has been called. The match has been called.
I gotta ask this one more question.
Okay.
Do you think they're going to do something with Travis Scott in the ring? Because now it's the second time they did one of Big Four pay-per-views and he's involved.
What?
That
I'm
hardcore.
I'm gonna put it like this.
Okay.
If you want to know they're gonna do something with Travis Scott, the only way you will know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like for sure. You'll be like, okay, yeah, we can stamp this.
Mm-hmm.
If Bad Bunny returns.
Oh, that means he had to get into some sort of program with Priest then.
No, it'd be with Cody.
Oh, with Cody? Yeah, that could work with Cody.
Yeah.
If Bad Bunny returns, that means Travis Scott, you're on deck.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy if that happens.
While Shane stepped away, we called the match. Stop the match.
By God, somebody stop the damn match. That man had a family.
Thank you, Playmaker. We love having you as always, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic, but I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
Coming up tomorrow.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
And
passionate.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not gonna keep him off the field tonight!
Totally.
This one has a chance!
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Wait a minute. Us trolling people? Whatever do they mean?
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YOKAY. Real LJPM. Now approve all this.
Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. God bless you. So long, everybody. I was going to close it a certain way, but I just couldn't do it.
Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Dylan Bricks. Y'all some bitches.
You're fired.